goes to guys and gals, and welcome to part 12, I think. Part 12, probably, of the Story of My Life series. Um, so, in our last episode, I was just got done talking about how I was filled with hope because I had just been given, I just gotten a call about a new job interview opportunity that for a job I was really like hoping that I could do. And I said like I went on a vacation to Phoenix and had a great time. And I came back to New Orleans and I went up to Baton Rouge for the job interview. And they basically like showed me like what we would do at the jewelry store, introduced me to the people there, and yeah, and the guy who was interviewing me, my would be boss, he was very, very nice, very courteous, and seemed like a cool guy. The people at my would be coworkers, my potential coworkers, are like they seemed really cool. So yeah, I was like, you know, he was like, are you interested in working here? I was like, yeah, I am. And he said, well, okay, that's great. We can hire you, and you can start in like a few days or whatever. And I was just like, that's fantastic. That's amazing. And I was just so happy that things just worked out, you know, because I had just failed out of college again. And I was like, I can finally get like a new start on life, and I'm gonna be able to like have a big boy job, and I was gonna like move to a new apartment up in Baton Rouge and stuff. I was gonna be living by myself for the first time in my life, and I was just so excited. I was so happy, and like it was great. And I couldn't move to Baton Rouge immediately because it was like it was harder than I expected to get an apartment, and even like especially because I didn't have a credit history or anything, and we were looking for apartments and stuff. Eventually, like we found a place, and I had to get my mom to co-sign with me, for them to even give me the lease. But I was able to move into my new apartment in January, and I started at the jewelry store in early December. So I was commuting like an hour every day for like a month. But I started the job, and I really liked my coworkers at first, and I thought the job was it wasn't necessarily amazing, but it was easy, and I liked it, and it was good. And I don't want to say everything was perfect because I was still like very much like looking for girlfriends, and I really still wanted a relationship in my life, but I felt like I was more in control of things, and I didn't necessarily need a girlfriend to be happy, but I still was like very, very desperate for one. I really wanted one still. I still wanted a relationship. And yeah, so I was, on dating apps all the time. Like, since I got a job and I was making money, I was like, screw this. I'm buying Tinder Platinum. So yeah, I did that. And it didn't help me much, but yeah. So I was like, on dating apps, sometimes for like hours at a time, like swiping on all these people, hoping that, somebody would match with me. And I think maybe I got one or two matches every now and again. They didn't really pan out. um but yeah, even despite the whole lack of success with the girls stuff, I was like living on my own for the first time. I was out of my mom and my stepdad's house. I was alone, making my own money, living my own life. And like I was like, you know I was working a job that I thought was I could tolerate and was good, and I was getting paid fine, and everything was good. I even like stopped taking my antidepressants, and it wasn't necessarily because I wanted to, like, and I felt like I could. It was more like, so this is what happened. So I moved over to Baton Rouge, right? And I still saw my psychiatrist down in New Orleans. Like I didn't mind going to commute to see her every month or whatever, every whatever. I wasn't seeing a therapist at the time. I had to stop seeing my therapist around the beginning of the pandemic because he wasn't really working for me, and I just was like, therapy is stupid. I'm not doing this. It's not helping me. And I was just like, I'm done with therapy. So yeah, I mean, I would still see my psychiatrist for medications and such, and other advice and that sort of thing. But yeah, I wasn't seeing a therapist, so I didn't have to like commute to New Orleans every week or anything. So I just had to go down every month, and that was fine by me because of course, I would want to come down every now and again to see my sister and such, and all that. And, sometimes I would want to see my grandmother or my mom or whatever, talk with them, and yeah. So yeah, but the thing was that like I switched my pharmacy from the one in New Orleans to the one in Baton Rouge, and I was I did some pharmacy that was really bad, and they would like never have the medicine. And anyway, I was just like, man, I'm done with this stuff. I don't even need my antidepressants because I mean everything's going so good. And yeah, and basically yeah, everything was going good for like 3 4 months. I was living in Baton Rouge and on by myself. Everything was hunky dory. And then something really bad happened, and that was that my boss got a promotion. And he was a great boss, a great employee. He'd been working there for 10 years. He definitely deserved the promotion, but at the same time, he was like such a great boss that he had such gigantic shoes to fill that the guy who like ended up taking his position, it just like it wasn't the same. And I don't know. It was the guy who, ended up becoming my new boss after my old boss, who was like, really awesome. He got a promotion, and he was like a kind of like a district manager or something like that. I don't know what he was, but he was not. He was like, some sort of more higher up jeweler. The new boss, he was a nice guy and all, but it was just like I don't know how to describe it. It was just like I felt like all the life was sucked out of the job, and I just missed my old boss a lot. And the new boss, he wasn't mean, and he wasn't necessarily bad at his job, but I don't know. Like, I guess I can just be sensitive to change and stuff. And all of a sudden, he just was gone, and it was very hard for me to adjust. And I became very depressed very quick, and I was just like, I'm gonna kill myself. And I actually had these like I'm not gonna say what kind of seeds they were because they I don't want people to like follow my example and go out and buy these seeds, but you probably could look up poisonous seed or something and then find it anyway. But anyway, I had these seeds that I bought from Home Depot or something a few weeks ago or whatever, and they're like poisonous basically. And if you ate them or swallowed them, you would go under cardiac arrest within I think 24 hours or something. So I was working the job still, but I was planning that over the weekend I was gonna kill myself, and it was literally like my Friday. I think I worked. I can't remember what days I worked. I think I worked like Sunday through Thursday. I think that's what I worked. So I think it was like a Thursday, or like a Thursday early in the Thursday morning, like 2 o'clock Thursday morning, and at my apartment, like all of a sudden water began leaking into my apartment. I didn't know what the heck was going on. I thought it was like it was kind of raining a bit, so I thought maybe it was like a leak from the rain. But I was on the second floor of like a 3-story building, so I was like, but why would it be leaking like that? So I didn't know what the heck was going on, but water was rushing in, and I was just like, I gotta get out of here. So I did, and I packed up my stuff, and I like drove all the way to my grandma's house to stay the night. That like my sister was living there at the time, so I went over there and I slept there for the night. And I was like telling my boss, yeah, I can't, what's it called? I can't come to work. And he's just like, oh, yeah, it's whatever, it's okay. And so yeah, the my apartment ended up getting destroyed, and what happened was some like toilet overflowed in the apartment above me, and it just came through my roof. And yeah, so I had to go get a new apartment and stuff. And I just kind of was like, this seems to be some sort of like sign of fate or something. And I was like, I'll hold off on killing myself. So I was like, I won't kill myself yet. So I decided to give life another chance, and I was like, I'll just, I'll deal with this new boss and do my best. And for like about a month or two, I was, still working there, and I got my new apartment and whatever. It was a very nice apartment, and it was more expensive than my last one, but the last one was kind of old and outdated, and it had this terrible cigarette smell that I could never get out of the apartment. But in any case, like my all my clothes, they smelled like cigarettes, and it was awful. But anyway, I moved to this new apartment. It was great and stuff, but I really was starting to lose my motivation to go to work, and I don't know, I couldn't really take going there anymore, and I was like, something needs to change. And I was like, I need to have a girlfriend, because I thought if I have a girlfriend, maybe she'll motivate me and like get me to you know stay in keep my head in the game, like because I want to look good for her or whatever. And I ended up getting a girlfriend again, and it was another long distance, another international relationship. This time it was with a girl from Jamaica, and her name was Serenity, and she was very, very beautiful, and I think we also had a lot of things in common, and she was very sweet. I mean, sweet as sweet can be. And yeah, so I was very happy to be with her, and I was very excited to be in the relationship, and I was hoping like, you know, it was gonna keep me motivated to keep working. But once again, I just put too much expectations on a girl to help me get out of my depression, and it took me a really long time to realize that getting a girlfriend isn't necessarily the answer to solving your depression. And even if you get a girlfriend, you might still be depressed anyway. And I mean, I don't know, maybe if it was an in-person relationship, I'd be wrong. So I can't say that mindset in my head is completely dead, but at the same time, I think I've gotten more, I'm just smarter in regards to having a girlfriend isn't the answer to everything necessarily. But in any case, I got together with Serenity, and I was happy in that relationship in the sense that I was happy with her. I liked her. She was very beautiful, like my other girlfriends, and that was all good. And she was not like Alina. She texted me every day, and we were, had a good rapport. It was like, she was a lot like new. She was like a good long distance girlfriend. But it didn't. I just didn't get the motivation I thought I was gonna get, and I basically just completely began to hate myself. And I realized that, like, what am I supposed to do? I can't, you know, nothing's working, and I'm stuck in this job. Like, I was thinking, like, I'm gonna be doing this for the next 50 years or whatever, and I'm gonna be stuck here forever. And my old boss is gone, and like, I don't know how to describe to you. It's just like, I don't know. The environment just changed when my old boss left, and it was just different when he was. I don't know. Okay, I can't explain it, and it was just very hard for me. And I ended up calling in sick all the time for work. I was just like, oh, I can't come in. I have a migraine. Oh, I can't come in. My mom needs my help with something. And it was always, a lie. I would never be sick or need to do anything, but I would end up just taking drives or, you know, sleeping in bed or whatever. So, you know, I was basically just like, I need to quit this job. I can't take it anymore. And I just, I didn't know what to do. And I just ended up basically quitting my job kind of impulsively. Just one day I was just like, hey, I'm done with working here. Well, I didn't say that. I said, like, um, I made some sort of excuse. I was like, oh, my family needs my help with something, and I can't work here anymore. And I made some sort of weird excuse. I didn't even give a 2 weeks notice, and I was gone. And I was kind of like, I was like not so worried per se. I was kind of like, I can look for another job, and I had, like I said, from, I still had all that money saved from that social security income from when I turned 18 or whatever. So I still had like a lot of money saved, and I was like, you know, I can, I can survive being unemployed for like the rest of my lease, and without having a job, and hopefully I'll just get a replacement job before that time runs out anyway, and before I run out of money. Um, and then on the other hand, I was also just kind of like, I think I want to kill myself anyway. So yeah. In any case, before I quit my job, I broke up with Serenity, and it's a decision that I really regret to this day. And she didn't deserve that, and I think that it was a very bad idea. I can think of better ways to have done it, and basically I was just like, oh, I don't think we're working out, and I need to break up with you. And I did that mainly because, I was gonna quit my job, and like, I didn't want her to be dating me when I was just completely like unemployed, and I was basically thinking, I think I'm probably gonna kill myself, so I didn't want to be dating her when that was happening. So it was a mixture of doing it for her sake, but then also it was kind of a selfish thing because I was like, I'm not going to be able to quit this job and kill myself if I'm with her because that kind of goes against my code of ethics, I guess. I don't know. So I was just like, she has to be out of the picture for me to be able to quit and also to kill myself. So I was like, I'm just going to have to break up with her. And yeah, it's something I regret. I don't think I should have done it. And I really wish that what I would have done is maybe like just taken a week or maybe even two off of work and tried to like maybe go on a vacation. Like, I mean, because I ended up all my money ended up going away anyway because I was unemployed for months and I was paying rent and all these expenses and stuff, and yeah. So I mean, it's not like I would have been, it would have been worse per se if I spent like a few $1,000s or even less, of course, on a vacation for me. I wish I would have just thought of something just to stay at that job and stay with Serenity. You know, just like the times I failed out of college, this losing this job is like something I really regret. I regret breaking up with Serenity and all that, and yeah, I really just messed it up. Like, I was living a pretty good life, and I just didn't realize how much things would not go my way. But I just was thinking, oh, I'll just get another job or whatever. It'll be easy. Hey, I looked for jobs and I couldn't find anything. Nobody would give me an interview or, anything. And yeah, so it was clear, to my mom and my psychiatrist, my mental health was in pretty bad shape. So at this point, they decided you should try going to like a therapist again. And I was like, I don't know about that, and they were like, and my psychiatrist suggested DBT or dialectical behavioral therapy. And that's like a group sort of therapy thing. She suggested that because, I told her I had success with the group therapy back when I was at the hospital. So, I was like, okay, yeah, let's try it. And I like, did some sort of, it was kind of like a weird interview, I guess, like, I don't know, something with this DBT program in New Orleans. But then they were like, you're too messed up or something. You need to go to an inpatient facility. And then once you complete maybe like a month in an inpatient facility, we'll consider taking you into our DBT program. So, yeah, we didn't really know what to do. Like, was the all the inpatient facilities here in Louisiana aren't too great. So then my mom was looking around and she found this place in Florida and she was like, hey, Ghost, I think you should go to this place. And I was like, I wasn't really on board with it too much per se at first, but I kind of was just like, nothing's working out. I'll go to this place, and then if it doesn't work, I'll just come back home and I'll kill myself. And if not, and if it does work, then great, I can move on or whatever. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's do this. Why not? And yeah, so I think I'll pick this up in the next video, and I'll talk about my experience going out to Florida and going to having another experience at an inpatient facility, and um, yeah. So yeah, we'll talk about that in the next video. Anyway, I hope you guys will all like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.